It was a Thursday night, quiet and cold, the kind of night where couples cuddle under blankets and talk about everything and nothing. But she wasn't home. My wife Lena hadn't called, hadn't texted, hadn't even replied to my "Where are you?" message sent 3 hours ago. It wasn't the first time she stayed out late, but it was the first time she didn't bother giving an excuse. I had made dinner, her favorite, lemon butter chicken. I even lit a candle like we used to. But as the hours passed, that flame flickered down to wax. I sat at the table alone, the food growing cold, my mind spiraling. This wasn't about one night, it was about months of quiet distance. The late nights with friends, the sudden privacy with her phone, the hollow conversations. I asked once if something was wrong. She laughed. "You're being dramatic." I asked again. She got angry. "You're paranoid." So I stopped asking. But deep down, I knew. She wasn't just drifting. She was already gone. I just didn't have proof. Or maybe I did, but I was too afraid to face it. Until that night, when she didn't even bother to lie. She stayed out, without a word, without shame. I sat on the edge of the bed till 3 a.m. The house was dead silent except for the ticking of the old wall clock, each tick louder than the last. I wasn't crying. I wasn't panicking. I was done. The love I once felt had withered under the weight of her indifference. That night broke something in me, but instead of screaming or texting her like a fool, I calmly packed a suitcase. I took only what I needed, just enough to remind myself I existed outside of her. Then I wrote a note, just 10 words. "Enjoy what's left. You've already burned the rest." When the sun peeked over the rooftops, I left the house quietly. No door slam, no drama, just silence, the same silence she gave me night after night. I left the note on her side of the bed, the one that had grown colder over time. And then I walked away. I didn't go to a friend's. I didn't go to my brother's. I went to a place she didn't know. A rented apartment, small but clean, a blank slate. For the first time in years, I breathed without feeling like I was suffocating in someone else's shadows. That afternoon, she called me. I didn't answer. Then came the text. "Where are you? What's going on? Can we talk?" But I stayed silent. Her panic was interesting. She wasn't worried when she stayed out all night, but now, suddenly, she remembered I existed. I imagined her walking around the house, seeing the closet half empty, the toothbrush gone, the note still sitting there like a loaded gun on the pillow. And I knew she was finally feeling what I had felt for months, abandonment. Later that week, she emailed me, a long, dramatic letter full of explanations. "It wasn't what you think. I just needed space. You never understood me." She didn't admit to cheating, but she didn't deny it either. She blamed distance, work stress, my emotional unavailability. A favorite term of hers when cornered. But it didn't matter anymore. You don't need to prove betrayal when absence speaks louder than lies. She left me long before I left her. I had just been too loyal to walk away, until now. The strange thing is, I didn't miss her. Not the real her. I missed who I thought she was. The version of her that used to fall asleep on my chest. The girl who once wrote love notes on sticky pads, but that girl was gone, replaced by someone I didn't recognize. Cold, careless, distracted. I stopped checking her social media. I stopped wondering who she was texting. I started rebuilding my life, one piece at a time. The silence that once haunted me became peaceful, healing. Now, months later, I still have that note saved on my phone, just as a reminder. Not of the pain, but of the strength it took to walk away quietly. She never replied to it directly. Maybe she was ashamed. Maybe she finally understood. Or maybe she just moved on to the next man she could ignore. Either way, I don't care. Because that morning when I walked out without a fight, I didn't just leave a house. I left behind the version of me that accepted less than I deserved. And trust me, what's left is more than enough.